Hi, my name is Linda Cirulli-Burton, and welcome to this channel I've named Above the Battleground, ACIM. Above the Battleground is based on the teachings of a spiritual self-study path known as A Course in Miracles. I've been a student of A Course in Miracles since 1992, and recently have felt compelled to share some of the insights that have dramatically impacted my mind. Last night I had an epiphany, and the epiphany came as a result of conversations with my friend Lisa and my sister Chrissy, and also rewatching Ken Wapnick broadcast Classroom versus Prison. And it was all connected ultimately, much to my joy. When I began these videos, I was drawing a really strong line between old Linda and new Linda. New Linda would be focused exclusively on A Course in Miracles and the application to my mind, right? But what I found happening over the last few weeks is that I was getting mixed up and really starting to become overly enamored of the form. The form is a blue book. I was narrowing my focus so much to the blue book that I lost the relevancy and the importance of content. So content do the teachings bring me more peace? Do they bring me a better understanding of love? Does it help me break illusion? Does it create in me the fruit of the Spirit? And I just copied it down because I thought it was so relevant. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. The truth is that A Course in Miracles is one of many thousands of paths. For me, this is the path that leads to the fruit of the Spirit. But I want you to know that I honor the many different paths that are there. So let me just say, for me, the symbol of perfect, deep, profound, patient, compassionate love is Jesus or the Holy Spirit. But there are so many paths that use a different name, and it's like, okay, it's all okay. For example, some paths have chanting, some have beautiful songs, some have dancing, ritualistic dancing. Some have items that are considered to be quite special. For example, my mom, a very devout Catholic, has so many rosaries that I also have in my home, right? So there's, sacred literature. Different paths have beautiful sacred literature. The thing of it is that it's the content. It's the fruit of the Spirit. Does this path bring me to the fruit of the Spirit? Now, there are a few things that I do want to say about A Course in Miracles. And that is that in the 1990s, Ken Wapnick wrote to the Library of Congress so that A Course in Miracles would not be listed along with Ken Wapnick's writings as part of the New Age movement. What he pointed out, and this is just sort of a succinct encapsulation, if you will, was that New Age, what was very interesting, that it really teaches you the power of your mind. New Age often is teaching you the power of your mind in order for you to create good things in your ego bodies, right? So I will attract the partner of my dreams, or with prosperity consciousness, I'm going to make more money, financial resources. The truth for A Course in Miracles is that it has absolutely nothing to do with what happens externally in your body. It has everything to do with the changing of the thought going on in your mind, so that instead of choosing the wrong mind or the wrong world full of divisiveness and competition and comparison, instead you go to your symbol of perfect love, for me, Jesus or the Holy Spirit, and choose again within the constructs of the mind of God, a different way. And now some things might play out in your body life or not, but it's actually very, very irrelevant. There is a phrase that is used very often in A Course in Miracles. And I know that it is a phrase that friends of mine going through cancer treatments will repeat. Because remember, cancer is one of those diseases where a lot of fear can erupt. And that is this phrase repeated often in A Course in Miracles. I am not a body. I am free. I am as God created me. So keeping in mind that what does or does not happen in the world of ego bodies is irrelevant. I am not a body. Now, another point that Ken Wapnick made is that A Course in Miracles really is an extension, in a way, in linear time. We have to look at linear time. It follows several other philosophical, what am I trying to say? Treatises, maybe. That doesn't sound great, but it's okay. And that would be Plato, Neoplatonic thought, Stoicism, which is a particular favorite of mine and certainly was of the ancient Romans, and Gnosticism, which came from, of course, the early foundational years of Christianity, the very highest reaches of Gnosticism, knowledge, right? And also, Ken credited Freud with helping us understand how the unconscious plays out in these lives, right? So in my effort to be 100% the new Linda, I was devoted to the form of ACIM and the application. And I really forgot about everything that I've always loved learning. Now, the thing about Ken that I noticed over the years of reading all of his literature, watching his videos, listening to his CDs, what I realized is that Ken used all of his learning, all of his joys, and he brought it in to the Course in Miracles so that he could make lessons truly come alive. So, for example, Ken loved philosophy, ancient and modern. He loved classical music. He loved Shakespeare. And he brought lessons in that just made A Course in Miracles pop. I realized last night, or sometime around 3 a.m., that I did not have to cut off the old Linda in order to devote myself to A Course in Miracles. So the old Linda loves Western civilization, loves the Western humanities, Europe, USA. I love it. I make no apologies for just loving it. And so I've decided, oh, by the way, my particular favorite is the ancient world. I'll find plenty of examples from there. But anyway, right now I want to share with you something that when I was teaching my students, it just made my heart jump. I just recognized in it A Course of Miracles. I am not a body. I am free. I am as God created me. Frederick Douglass, the great American who escaped from slavery, found his way up to Massachusetts, recounted a story when he was on the verge of getting in a fight with the overseer on the plantation where he was assigned. And the overseer backed down. I think Frederick Douglass in his writing will say that he understood that his immense size and the power that he had would have absolutely destroyed the overseer. And then it would have gone across plantations everywhere that the overseer got destroyed by a slave. So he backed down. But the impact on Frederick Douglass, even now when I think about this, it brings tears to my eyes. So please let me share what he wrote about this particular episode. I felt as I never felt before. It was a glorious resurrection. From the tomb of slavery to the heaven of freedom, my long crushed spirit rose. Cowardice departed. Bold defiance took its place. And I now resolve that, however long I might remain a slave in form, the day had passed forever when I could be a slave in fact. And when I read this quote, I knew that Frederick Douglass got it. In that holy instant, he got it. Basically, I am not a body. I am free. I am as God created me. So I think that the new Linda will be incorporating many stories that the old Linda adored and brought home to me A Course of Miracles. And hopefully by sharing them, by going back, looking at all my stuff that I love, that you too will benefit. So once again, thank you so much for joining me in Frederick Douglass. And I'll look forward to sharing with you again. Thank you.